This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
It is Live Bet Saturday. Marc Malusis and Geoff Schwartz with you right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. The Rockets leading the Warriors 49-46 at the half. If you want to get a little halftime action, Houston is a 2.5-point favorite at the half. On the money line, they're minus 154. The total in the game, Geoff, is sitting at 198.5. Anything in Rockets Warriors says it'll go to the second half with the Rockets up by 3.
Yeah, I think Rockets win the game. Excuse me, geez, wrong team. Warriors win the game. The Rockets sort of had their time. The Warriors are making their shots now. Like the Warriors could not make a shot to save their life. Steph had 2 points with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. He's got 15 now. Like, he's heating up. Fred VanVleet is your leading scorer right now for Houston with 13 points. It's 5-5-5, 13-5 as their starters right now. 6-6-4 for the backups. Like, I just don't think they have a dude down the stretch here on the road that can match what Steph Curry is going to do in the second half of this game.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Here would be the things that would be concerning. What I mentioned before about Houston not being able to take advantage, lengthen out the lead. At one point in time, they led by 10, 40-30, right? So the Golden State Warriors closed out the first half on a 16-9 run, right? It's a 3-point game at the break with Houston Houston out on top. Houston shot 40% from behind the arc in the first half. That's not going to continue. The Golden State Warriors shot 28% from 3 in the first half. That's not going to continue. So, and what I mean by not going to continue, I think Golden State will shoot the ball a lot better in the second half. I don't think Houston's going to continue that rate in half number 2. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about my Rockets play. I liked them before the game plus the 2. I like them on the money line. I'm a little concerned here when you're looking at how this game has played out, how the Warriors closed out the first half. Golden State obviously being at home, series tied up at a game apiece, even without Jimmy Butler. Very, very concerned right now about the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, I think that's a fair concern. Again, like, they shot so well. If they just shoot 30% from 3, it's probably unlikely for them to win this game.
Yeah, you look at the couple Stanley Cup playoff games that are still going on right now, or one that just got underway, one that's in overtime. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Ottawa Senators, they're in overtime right now. Toronto minus 128 on the money line. The Ottawa Senators are plus 104 when you're looking at it. So the Maple Leafs are favored to win the game. Toronto trailed in this game at one point in time 2-0, trailed in the third period 3-2 to force the extra session. And Dallas and Colorado just got underway. They're in the first period, and the Stars and the Avalanche are scoreless.
And this start for the Avalanche and Stars is sort of what I thought would happen in this game, where the Avalanche are just plastering shots at the Stars goalie. They have 4 official shots on goal, but they've had a couple blocked. They've had a couple wide. Like, they have just what I thought they would do, just start shooting. I mean, they have to, right? I mean, that's what their game plan has to be. We know they can score. They haven't scored a lot the last couple of games. It's a must-win game for them. We've seen, again, in the NHL, these sort of must-win moments the last couple of days. That team that has the must-win has must-won. They've done a good job.
Right now in Major League Baseball, top 8, the Arizona Diamondbacks leading the Atlanta Braves 6-4. Arizona, as you would expect, they're minus 950 on the money line. The Braves are plus 540. The Tampa Bay Rays are leading the San Diego Padres 2-0. They're in the top of the 5th inning. San Diego is plus 600. Tampa Bay, the Rays are minus 1100 to win the game on the money line. How about the Los Angeles Dodgers? They're leading the Pittsburgh Pirates 2-1. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Dodgers, as you would expect, minus 670. The Pirates are plus 430. And the Marlins right now trailing the Seattle Mariners 2-0. They're in the bottom of the 1st inning. Seattle is minus 1,800. The Miami Marlins are plus 800. So that's the update on the 4 baseball games going on right now. We've got one NBA playoff basketball game. The Rockets leading the Golden State Warriors 49-46. As far as the Stanley Cup playoffs go, the Lanch and Stars are scoreless in the opening period, and the Maple Leafs and Ottawa Senators, they're tied at 3, and they are in overtime. Toronto has outshot Ottawa 28-15 in this game. It's miraculous that this game is in overtime, yet it is.
Yeah. And there's a penalty now, I believe, in Ottawa. So there'll be a power play for a high stick. They give him a 4 minute. They might give him the what's that, double minor, the 4 minute penalty?
Yeah, if he drew blood. Yeah, look, he's showing his hand, so he's showing blood. Yeah,
he drew blood. So it's a 4 minute. I mean, I don't know if you could live bet on Toronto right now, but you might want to. you don't have it.
Listen,
in your account.
I'm not rooting against Ottawa. Well, I kind of am because I have Toronto, and I liked them at plus 196 after the opening period when they were down 2-1. Now they're going on the power play in overtime. They've carried the play. They've outshot Ottawa 28-15. We're at the 15-23 mark of overtime. And the Senators obviously want to avoid getting swept, got off to a rip-roaring start. Toronto a victory tonight, and they march on to the Eastern Conference semifinals.
I see minus 250 for Toronto right now. I'm not doing it, but, 4 minutes, this power play defense got to hold for 4 minutes, I mean, we saw a shorthanded goal, I think, already tonight in this game for Ottawa. Would that correct? Was it this game was a shorthanded goal? So, I mean, they've been able to do it, but, I mean, geez. It's going to be a heck of a kill right now. They can manage to do this. So already one shot on goal for Toronto. This would be the 3rd straight overtime loss for the Senators, which would just be, but you can't be more brutal than that, right?
No, that would be a tough one. It really would be. And Toronto obviously looking. I think the last time they won a Stanley Cup was 1967, so they're trying to win a Stanley Cup. Yeah. And they've been one of those, obviously, a lot of the pressure. They're basically like the Yankees up in Canada when you look at the Toronto Maple Leafs without all the winning. Let's look ahead to tomorrow's NHL Stanley Cup slate, Geoff. Quickly here, I'll fire all the games at you, and I'll ask you if anything really hits you. The Jets and the Blues, Winnipeg is minus 130 on the money line. When you look at the total in the game, it's 5.5. The Carolina Hurricanes up 2-1 in New Jersey, in Newark, taking on the Devils. Devils won Game 3 in overtime. Carolina minus 175 on the money line, plus 145 is New Jersey. 5.5 favored to the over at minus 135. Capitals and Canadiens. Washington is a minus 118 money line favorite. Montreal is minus 102. 5.5 is the goal total. Favored to the over. Favored to the under at minus 130. And then you're looking at the Kings and the Oilers. Edmonton minus 135 on the money line. Los Angeles plus 114. 6.5 is the goal total. Favored to the over at minus 122.
6.5 is high, but there were a ton of goals scored in the Oilers-Kings series, right? Oilers even switched goalies. Didn't matter much last night. They won 7-4. But I would look at maybe the over there. I think the Hurricanes on the 60-minute line, they've been better than the Devils. Devils are beat up. I think the Devils sort of won their one game to avoid the gentleman's sweep. Do you agree with me on that one? Like, that's probably Hurricanes win 4 and 5 in my opinion.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree. I think Carolina's carried the play. I give the Devils credit for, winning the game back at home in Newark on Friday night. But that game even went to overtime. They don't have Jack Hughes. Obviously, he's done for the season after having shoulder surgery that was announced a long time ago. That hurts this Devils team. I think Sheldon Keefe's done a nice job year number 1. I think it's a Carolina team, obviously really, really well coached. I'd be surprised if Carolina doesn't win tomorrow afternoon.
I would be surprised as well. So I'm looking at that probably. I've been on the Blues. I think every game of the series so far, it didn't pay the first 2. It paid yesterday, but I don't feel as comfortable on that. I think Winnipeg has just been better. Obviously, the Blues won at home yesterday, but I probably stay away from that one. So like the Hurricane 60-minute line, probably the over in Edmonton. And I think the Capitals, again, like they were so much better.
Canadiens have been pesky.
Games. Yeah, but
Canadiens have been pesky in this series. They really have.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, OV anytime goal will be played because it has to be played. By the way, only 31 seconds left on this power play for Toronto right now. Ottawa's doing their darndest, man, to keep this the score even.
Yeah, Toronto getting a little bit too cute. I mean, they tried to score coming off behind the line with the backhand, and it didn't go. I'll give you some quick thoughts on the NHL tomorrow when you look at the slate. I agree with you. I think Winnipeg obviously favored in the game. I would not be surprised if St. Louis evens up that series. I kind of lean toward the Blues plus 110 on the money line. Agree with you about Carolina. Don't love the number, minus 175 on the money line, but I think the Devils' overtime victory in Game 3, to me, that was their way of getting back into it. I think Carolina responds tomorrow. I don't know. I got a strange feeling. I'm going to take Montreal. There has not been a lot of that has separated the Capitals and Canadiens in this series. I'll take Montreal. They're home to even up that series at 2 games apiece. And I agree with you about Kings and Oilers. I would take the over 6.5 goal total in that one. It's been a high scoring affair. I think that's kind of where you go in that game. They killed it off. No, 31 seconds. Timeout, I guess, Toronto.
Yeah, so we took a timeout.
Yeah, timeout Toronto with 31 seconds to go. Yeah. That game is tied up at 3-3 in overtime.
I'm glad I didn't lay that 250, buddy. Toronto.
That's exactly right. We'll update you, give you some thoughts on the NBA tomorrow. We'll get a Derby pick. I want to get Geoff's thoughts on the Kentucky Derby because we are a week away from the first Saturday in May and the Run for the Roses. We'll do all that. We're in the final hour. It's Live Bet Saturday. He's Geoff Schwartz. I'm Marc Malusis. You're watching us right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
No better time than the playoffs to check out all the sharp plays at sharpplays.com, where real bettors go to get ahead. Since 2011, Sharp Plays has been locked in on what the real pros are betting and what they're betting on that are actually moving the markets. When you sign up, you'll gain access to not only the plays, but all the sharp plays, powerful AI tools, and betting reports, plus real-time alerts, and also updates via email on X. Perhaps most importantly, betting logs are live, available to see on site each and every day. Don't take our word for it. Check the receipts when you head over to sharpplays.com. That's sharpplays.com. It's Live Bet Saturday. Marc Malusis, Geoff Schwartz with you. We're still in overtime here. Ottawa and Toronto. Geoff is rooting for a Tkachuk game winner for the Ottawa Senators, which he needs badly, correct?
Well, I don't need it badly. I mean, I did a Tkachuk's brother parlay based off Jonathan Davis. He put it out there. It'd be awesome to hit it. So I don't need it. I mean, I need a.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna go out there and tell my wife if I don't get this parlay, babe, we can't make rent next month. I would love. It would be awesome. It would be awesome to cash that. So. We'll see. Look, the Senators killed that 4 minutes, man. I mean, that was remarkable to watch. I'm not even sure Toronto got a ton of shots on goal either. They just were able to just sort of weed through it. They're doing something now. I don't know what this is delay. I don't know what the delay is for. Maybe that's just off a TV timeout.
Oh, they're cleaning the ice. No, they're cleaning the ice. They do it in overtime. And they do it during the course of the game, but they clean the ice because of the buildup, and they want to make sure the ice surface is clean. So they sent out the crews out there.
Let me ask you, so when every now and then I see them, like, when they have to do like one corner of the ice and they take a puck out there with a water bottle, are they trying to just tamp it down? Is that what they're trying to do?
Yeah, so they'll squeeze the water on it. So there's like a divot in the ice, right? So in between periods, they Zamboni it, right? And that's putting a fresh layer of water, cleaning off the ice surface and everything like that. So if there's like a divot or there's like a scrape in the ice, they're trying to make it. And some ice surfaces are a little bit better than others. They'll squeeze water on it, take a puck, and bash it down to make it as flat as they possibly can. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Another penalty, by the way, on Colorado. They're second in the first period. So I think they're coming back from break now. We'll see if Dallas gets on the board here. I mean, Ottawa's scrapping, man. They're
they're fighting. I'll tell you that.
They are. They're playing hard. That game's tied at 3. They've been outshot in the game 33-18. They've killed off a 4-minute power play in overtime, and we're at the 9:35 mark of overtime. And Toronto and Ottawa are still tied up at 3. All right, Rockets right now trailing the Golden State Warriors, 7:17 mark of the third quarter, 57-56. Golden State now a 1.5-point favorite, minus 125 on the money line. You look at the total in the game is sitting at 196.5. Geoff, let's look ahead to the quadruple header that we're going to get tomorrow. First game out in Detroit, 1 o'clock tip-off. Pistons and Knicks. Detroit a 2-point favorite at home, minus 132 on the money line. Knicks getting to plus 112 on the money line. The total in the game is sitting at 217.
Yeah, I think the Knicks are better. Don't you? Like I think maybe Pistons come out strong in game 4, knowing they have to win this game. But, the Knicks weren't always better in game 1 and game 2, but this is a 2-point win in game 3, but that was a 10-point game with 2 minutes left. I mean, the Knicks just didn't close it out very well. So I would lean toward taking the Knicks here. Maybe Pistons early, first quarter, first half, Knicks full game. I mean, I don't know if you want to play both, but I do lean slightly to the Knicks here.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's really a case of which team is able to dictate the style. Because I do think there's a correlation where if you like the Knicks in the game, I would take the over 217. Because if you like the Knicks in the game, that means they're not going to win a defensive battle. They're not going to win a game in which it's a slugfest, right? So they're going to get out. They're going to spread the basketball around. They had 4 players in game 3 that scored 20 or more points. It's not going to be the Jalen Brunson show taking 27, 28 shots. Towns will be involved. Anunoby will be involved. You look at Josh Hart to a less degree, and then you throw in Mikal Bridges. So, Geoff, I would say this. If you think the Knicks are able to take a 3-1 series lead in this game and you like them tomorrow afternoon and you think they've made the adjustments in this series, I would also take the over in the game. If you like Detroit to bounce back, I would take the under. Because I think the Knicks are a better offensive team. I would take the under 217. So I do like looking at some of those things when there's a correlation. And I do think in this series there is one, because I don't think Detroit can go up and down the floor with the Knicks, nor do I think they want to. I think they want to make it a street fight. The Knicks don't want to make it a street fight. Who is able to impose their will on the game ends up winning the game.
Yeah, I mean, that game obviously was Cat played so much better in game 3, right? He was able to your point, sort of get up and down the court and get in transition and make some of those plays. So I don't have a strong take for this one. I probably won't. I'll maybe find a player prop or something to do, but I don't feel either way much in this game.
All right, how about the Lakers? Your Los Angeles Lakers, they're getting 3.5 on the road in Minnesota. The T-Wolves lead the series 2-1. Minnesota favored 1 minus 156. Los Angeles plus 132 on the money line. The total in the game, Geoff, is sitting at 209.
To me, the Lakers are bust. Plus a 3.5. I think that, again, like, must win. That game the other night was close to the last 2 minutes. Like, it was within, like, 5 points most of the game, and they just weren't able to close out, and Luka didn't have his best game. So I would lean toward the Lakers in this one. I will say Jackson Hayes, the Lakers center, basically he starts and then doesn't play at all. I took under 5.5 points, rebounds, and assists last game. He finished with 3 total points, rebounds, and assists. He played 9 minutes again. So I don't know what that number will be. I don't know if they have it up yet. If they do, I will it's got to be like 3.5, right? I mean, I can't imagine they want to keep losing on that prop. But yeah, that's maybe where I would look. He doesn't play. He plays 9 minutes, and he plays in this series against 2 trees. Like he's not gonna do anything. So I'm curious if they have here player combos here, right here. Let's see if they have it up for us yet. Points, rebounds, and assists. They don't have the two-way markets yet, but the one-way market, he's not even on the one-way market. Like they're not even putting it up anymore. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would take to me, it's Lakers or bust. I like, it's one of probably my favorite plays on Sunday is Los Angeles. I was bullish on them coming into the playoffs, and I'm not a Laker fan. I'd be surprised if this series is not knotted up at 2 games apiece. And listen, sports surprises you at times, right? They do. I'm counting on Luka, obviously, to be healthy and not sick, right? LeBron gave you his quintessential LeBron performance in Game 3. It just wasn't enough because the team is built around Luka and obviously LeBron doing their thing. Can they negate the size of the Minnesota Timberwolves to an extent? You saw them bounce back in Game 2 after a poor Game 1 performance. I'm going to go on the zigzag theory in this series that it continues to play out and that the Lakers are able to bounce back with a victory in Game 4 to even up this series at 2 games apiece. The third game of the quadruple header that we get tomorrow in the NBA and NBA playoffs. How about the Celtics laying 6.5 on the road in Orlando? The total in the game is sitting at 197.5, Geoff.
So I'll be, to be frank with you here, buddy, I will wager 2 units on Boston minus 6.5 in this game. It's not often I do that. And if we're being a little moment of truth, a lot of times when you do that, you lose. Like you overextend yourself. But I just think when you think about the way this series has gone, Boston at times is kind of BSing. Like they just haven't played as well as I think we know they can. And that happened last. They didn't shoot well last game. And it's gonna be hard to convince me that the Magic are winning again, covering again, scoring 95 points in this series. They've scored 95, 186. Like Boston just has to shoot what they can be. And all of a sudden, this game is a 12, 14, 15-point game. Plus, after a loss like that, the team Boston has, I have to think they're going to say, you know what, like, guys, come on. Like, they're going to regroup in the hotel and walk through tomorrow and say, like, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Let's get back to playing the basketball we need to play and go ahead and get this done. So I think Boston wins this game by a decent amount, and I'll lay it here.
I'm with you. And I think it's an interesting, like we were talking about the Detroit and the Knicks. I think it's interesting when you look at this one is that, Orlando wants to make the game physical. They want to make the game ugly. They don't want to make the game pretty, and it gives them an advantage against the Boston Celtics, and they have a history of playing Boston well. I'm going to take the Celtics to bounce back in a big time way, lay the 6.5. I don't know if I'm up to 2 units like you are, Geoff, but I like the Celtics tomorrow afternoon. Probably one of my favorite plays. I do like the Knicks earlier in the day. We'll get to the fourth and final game after the break and continue the NBA conversation. He's Geoff Schwartz. I'm Marc Malusis. It's Live Bet Saturday right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Well, we have a winner in Ottawa, and it's the Senators with the game winner in overtime. That one has gone final. They stave off elimination. Toronto leads the series 3-1. We were talking about during the course of the break. I know I got a good number, Geoff. I care about winning. That's all I care about. Like, I don't care about whether I got a good number, bad number, whatever. In the end, I want to win, and gave you 2 plays during the course of this program tonight. I had Maple Leafs trailing 2-1, end of the first period. We're plus 196. They end up losing 4-3 in overtime. And we were both on the Los Angeles Clippers down 2 at home at the half, plus 2.5, minus 2.5 the rest of the game. And they lose at the buzzer on the Aaron Gordon dunk. It's been a tough, I'll be honest with you, it's been a tough last 90 minutes in the Malusis household.
Look, this is sort of what I always say. I mean, it's the truth, right? Like, you never wager more than you're willing to lose, right?
For sure.
So like, when you lose wagers, it's prideful too. Like, we're on the radio saying, take this wager.
We want to win.
Right. We want to win. Like, we're telling, but also we're telling people as they're listening to tail us, like, essentially, and you want to win all those wagers. So unfortunately, it did not happen in the Clippers game. Did not happen in the Ottawa game. I will tell you though, I will take Toronto to win Game 5. I think I feel comfortable.
I would agree
with that. Yeah. So
I would agree with you there.
Yeah. Sort of looking ahead to some other wagers, and it looks like we're going to have a power play for the Avalanche. Already up 1-0 here. An elbowing. I'm not sure I've seen an elbowing penalty before.
Yeah, on Cale Makar. He went down to the ice. Yeah. No, yeah, it was an elbow right to the jaw, and he sold it, throwing his hockey stick as well. So there you have it. Colorado, a heavy favorite, down 2-1 in this series at home against the Dallas Stars, leading it 1-0, 2:19 to go in the opening period. Now they're going on the power play. To update the NBA game, how about the Houston Rockets? Up 71-66 now, minute 42 to go in the third quarter. They've withstood the Steph Curry Golden State Warriors run. They're now up 5 late third quarter. This game is going to obviously come down to the stretch, Geoff.
It is, and look, you're right. They were able to sort of withstand the barrage of Steph's up. Was last time was 27 points. They withstood that. I mean, look, both teams can't score, but the Warriors just have no chance unless it is Steph Curry scoring. I mean, my boy had 5. The guy that I player pop over had 5 points he scored the first 5 points of the game for the Warriors. Has nothing since, like not even taking a shot since. They just have no chance unless the offense is initiated through Steph Curry. The Rockets steal the ball here. They're going to attempt a 3. That's why I'm a play-by-play guy, stepped out of bounds. I'm a good play-by-play guy. You like that?
Yeah, I like that. That was sharp.
Yeah.
Very nice,
No.
Geoff.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It still does feel like anyone's game-ish, but I think if you have the Rockets ticket as you do, like Steph is out right now. He's played 30 of 34 minutes. He's out, and Moody hit a 3. Oh, but no, Buddy Hield did a 3. So, I mean, they just got to find someone else to score.
Other than Curry.
Yes.
Let's wrap up and talk a little bit about the NBA. I want to hit you on the Kentucky Derby, which we're a week away. First Saturday in May, Churchill Downs. They did the post positions earlier today. Pacers tomorrow night, 9:30 tip in Milwaukee, taking on the Bucks. Bucks bounce back with a Game 3 victory. Indiana leads this series 2-1. The Milwaukee Bucks are 4.5-point home favorites. Total in the game is sitting at 226.5. Geoff.
Yeah, Let me pull up my numbers here for this one. By the way, McKinnon scored a goal for Colorado, so we're at 2-0 now for the 2-0 on the power play. Yeah, on the power play. There we go, right through the wickets. I will say, okay, we talked about this game earlier, right? I think the Pacers are better. You have to think Lillard over points is something to look at. He hasn't played well since he's been back. We know that, but what are you going to get from him? I think the Pacers they played well in the first half last game. They got that Milwaukee barrage at the end of that game. I lean Pacers here. I think we're in the same boat.
Yeah, I'm going to take Indiana. I think, and they lost game. They got outscored in the fourth quarter, got outscored in the second half. You think about it, the Indiana Pacers, Milwaukee scored 70 points in the second half in Game 3, won that game going away 117-101. I'd be surprised if Indiana didn't bounce back. I like them plus the 4.5. Could Milwaukee even up this series? Could Dame Lillard, and Giannis is going to go out there and put on a show. There's nobody that Indiana has that can contain Giannis Antetokounmpo, but still, he's going to get his. Can Indiana? I think Indiana's got more answers when you look at this matchup. I think they bounce back. I think Game 3 was the game Milwaukee had to win. They knew it. They were the desperate team going back home, down 2-1. I think tomorrow night, Indiana starts to put a little bit more pressure on the Milwaukee Bucks and take a 3-1 series lead. I like the Pacers plus the 4.5.
I agree with you here. I know it's early in the postseason, but Giannis has had to do so much for this Bucks team. I mean, how much does he have left in the tank? And the Pacers, again, just had a poor second half. I don't think they're going to score 101 points most nights when they're clicking, and it just didn't happen for them. I would look toward a Halliburton over. I like to play more at home for some of these props, but he had 21 points after 10 points in Game 1. I think he'll shoot better in Game 4. That's what's one at least early thought so far for the game on late Sunday night.
All right, Houston right now, end of the third quarter, leads the Golden State Warriors 71-69. The Rockets are minus 140 on the money line. Golden State plus 110. Total in the game is sitting at 191.5. And as we've discussed throughout the course of the program right here on Live Bet Saturday, Geoff, or as this game, when this game got going. I think this game is obviously, when you look at it, when we've been watching along as we're doing our show, I think this game is going to come down to probably the final 6 minutes in the fourth quarter. And I don't know if I necessarily feel comfortable with the Rockets, even though I do have a Rockets ticket, knowing Golden State's home, even without Jimmy Butler, and the heroics that we often see from the one and the great one, Steph Curry.
So Draymond has 5 points. He shot 4 threes. Hall of Famer, great player. He looks like he's throwing a grenade when he shoots a three.
He can't shoot.
He's just trying to get the ball close. Kuminga has 7 points. Quentin Post has played 22 minutes, 0 points. But to be fair, 10 rebounds. So he's not Tony Snell. The famous 28 minutes, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 line. Kyle Kuzma did that like a couple weeks ago too, I think. Steph Curry got 27. Brendan has 5. Looney has 2. Hield has 14. Payton has 5, and Moody has 4. If you're on the Rockets, you have to feel good that only one guy is scoring, essentially. Let's try to throw everything we have at Curry and force someone else to score, you have to feel good about where you are if that's the plan.
Colorado Avalanche leading the Dallas Stars end of the first period 2-0. Colorado is right now minus 1,600 to win the game. The Dallas Stars are plus 750, and I think Colorado before the game heavy favor. I think they were like plus 192, minus 192 to win the game. The Colorado Avalanche down 2-1, trying to even up the series before the series heads back down to Dallas for a big Game 5. We got to get into a little Kentucky Derby. We're going to do it after the break. Don't have enough time right now. Want to update the Major League Baseball scoreboard right now. The Atlanta Braves leading the Arizona Diamondbacks 7-6. They're going to the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Tampa Bay Rays leading the San Diego Padres 3-1. They're in the top half of the 7th inning. Tampa Bay is a minus 650 favorite. San Diego plus 420. The Pittsburgh Pirates now and the Los Angeles Dodgers are tied at 3. The Pirates are plus 210. The Dodgers are minus 280. And the Seattle Mariners leading the Miami Marlins. That Dodgers-Pirates game is in the top half of the 6th. Marlins leading the Mariners. Mariners leading the Marlins 7-0. And they are in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The NBA playoffs are here. Want to tell everybody it's time for the VSiN Killer Sports NBA Playoff Challenge. We've invited 15 sharp minds from around the world of VSiN and Killer Sports to go head-to-head, making 38 picks each from the start of the playoffs all the way through the NBA Finals. That's a total of 570 NBA playoff picks, all available to VSiN Pro subscribers. Picks are locked in 1 hour before the first game each day, so they'll have fresh insights to guide your bets every step of the postseason. And right now, you can get full VSiN Pro access through August 1st for just $59. Don't miss this playoff edge. Head to vsin.com/subscribe to sign up today. A lot more to get to. Let's talk a little Derby. I want to get Geoff into the Kentucky Derby. It's a week away, first Saturday in May. No? Yes? We'll find out. We'll do that next. Well, that's a little bit of a tease. We'll do that next. It's Live Bet Saturday. He's Geoff Schwartz. I'm Marc Malusis. It's Live Bet Saturday right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back to Live Bet Saturday. Marc Malusis, Geoff Schwartz with you right here on VSiN. Avalanche right now leading the Stars 2-0, end of the first period. Where are we right now in the NBA game? It was going into the fourth quarter, and right now we're tied at 80. Rockets and Warriors with 7:31 to go in the fourth quarter, Geoff.
We are. I see the Rockets as a favorite, slight favorite here in this game. I mean, I guess. 3 minutes left in this game. You got Steph Curry by himself, essentially, against the Rockets, who have not been in this spot for the most part. I don't know, man. What are you taking?
I would take the Warriors. I'm not feeling good about Houston. I got to be honest with you. Plus, I'm a little bit of a cooler tonight. The Clippers lost in heartbreaking fashion. The Leafs lost in overtime, and I'm on the Rockets. So sometimes, some days are your days, some days are not your days. I'm getting a sense today is not my day, Geoff. I got to be honest with you. That's where I'm feeling right now. I mean, I'm not, if Houston wins, I agree with you. Everything you've talked about with Golden State, it's Steph Curry and nobody else. They need somebody else offensively without Jimmy Butler. I just don't know where that guy is coming from. But as long as they remain close, like if this is a one possession game, they're down one, under 2 minutes to go. Can't you see Steph Curry hitting one from the logo, something like that place rocking? Of course you can. He's done it before. He's done it a million times.
Steph does the Jokic shot where he just he shoots it somewhere and someone just dunks it afterwards. No, that would be incredible if it happened again. By the way, some wildness in Arizona. The Braves scored 3 runs in the top of the 8th to take the lead. Diamondbacks scored 1 and then bottom of the 9th, so it's 7-7, top of the 10th. Do you like the runner on second base start the extra innings?
The ghost runner, I do not.
I don't. Think
I know why
matters.
baseball does it,
but does it really? Do games? I watch a ton of baseball. Like, do games really? Are they really? They don't seem like they end quicker because of that.
Well, I don't know on average. I mean, I gotta look at it from a baseball. I think Major League Baseball didn't want the 17, 18 inning game, something of that nature. I get it. Putting the players' health and all that kind of stuff. I just, I don't necessarily love putting a guy on second. Now, I understand why baseball does it, right? Baseball does it because they're looking to generate more interest and the games go too long. That's why they put in the pitch clock and they want the games to move snappier and everything like that. The younger audience has less of an appeal to sitting there watching. So I don't mind all that. I don't love the ghost runner. Does it give a distinct advantage to the team on the road because you're starting the game and you're able to score? Yeah, I mean, to an extent it does. And I understand those that look at it and say they hate it. I get why baseball does it.
Quickly, too, in the Arizona game, Suarez hit his 4th home run in the game. 19th player to hit his 4th home run in a game. 4 home runs a game. 19th ever to do it. How about that?
That is crazy when you think about that. He is. I mean, he was good with Cincinnati. He really was. So you look at it, and that is a tremendous accomplishment. Just the 19th player in the history of Major League Baseball to hit 4 home runs in a game. Geoff, next Saturday, will you be locked into the Kentucky Derby?
So here's what I do. Friend of VSiN, Chris Felica, the Bear, who I do my podcast with, Bear Bets. He's the horse guy of the two of us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to text him 2 hours before the race and just tell him, hey, buddy, what do I do? And he's going to send over a text with a bunch of numbers and wagers to make. I'm just going to put it into the system, hope it hits. And then what I do is I let my kids choose one horse each. And I put $10 on that horse to win. And then we all watch together. We all root for something. That's my analysis of the Kentucky Derby.
Now, has Chris been successful with those bets for you?
Yes. Last year in the Derby, we hit an exacta or something. It was awesome.
Oh, that's great. That's good. Yeah. That's all that matters, right? Yeah. I love the idea with your kids. So everyone, and now have they been successful? Has your kids been successful picking the winners?
I don't think so. But I like that everyone wants to watch the Derby, right? It's a ton of fun. So I'll just get them involved. Here, I'll put $10 on a horse. If you win the money, I get to keep it, I guess. I don't think we ever stipulate if I give them the money or not. But I certainly will put the money, the $10 on the horse for them, so something to cheer for.
Yeah, I listen. I grew up going to the track, and here on the East Coast, Belmont, Aqueduct, Saratoga. I've been to the Derby on 2 occasions, been to the Preakness, been to Breeders' Cups and everything like that. First Saturday in May in Malusis household is one that you circle on the calendar. So I love it. I mean, I do. And I think, there's not many days on the calendar where horse racing kind of takes center stage. Derby Day is clearly, obviously one of them. And what makes the Kentucky Derby, and especially that day and that card in Louisville at Churchill Downs so great, is the amount of money that's bet that day. And I think this Derby, and they drew the field to 20 earlier today. And as expected, journalism is your morning line favorite. Umberto Rispoli is aboard at 3-1. He's going to be breaking for post 8. Sovereignty, your second choice for Bill Mott. Godolphin, Junior Alvarado aboard. He's 5-1. What makes this year kind of so special or so interesting is that I think the race is kind of wide open. I don't think it's a great crop of 3-year-olds when you look at it overall. I don't think it's been an overly impressive kind of amount, a run-up when you're looking at the prep races to the Kentucky Derby. But, Geoff, what makes it so, for the horse player, and for the better, what makes Derby Day so great is, number one, the amount of money that's bet, how creative you can bet, not just in an individual race. You can play pick 4s, pick 5s, pick 3s. And when you look at the Derby being wide open, I think you can make an argument for 6, 7, potentially 8 horses that can go out there and win the race next Saturday. So it's going to be absolutely fascinating. Who do I like? I teased it earlier on the program. I do like a horse, and I like Sovereignty a lot. He's second on the morning line at 5-1, breaking from post 18. I think in the history of the Kentucky Derby, only 2 horses have won breaking from post 18. However, it's Bill Mott, it's Junior Alvarado. He won at Churchill Downs last fall, I believe, in the Matt Winn, did it impressively, prepped down at Gulfstream Park in the Fountain of Youth in the Florida Derby, won the Fountain of Youth, finished second in the Florida Derby. As long as he doesn't get into traffic, I think he'll get a pace to run at. I'll buy into the closing kick at Sovereignty next Saturday, and hopefully you get 5-6-1, and his morning line does hold up next Saturday in the Churchill Downs in the Kentucky Derby.
One thing I've learned about wagering on the horses is the ponies, is you can look for head-to-head matchups and see if the odds are off compared to what the odds to win the race, right? So let's say like you got horse A and horse B head to head. Horse A is, I don't know, 2-1 to win the Derby. Horse B is 3-1, but their head to head is even money. You would take B, right? Who's 3-1? Who's like, that doesn't make any sense. So that's the way that I've learned how to do it. Excuse me, you would take horse A. I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense. So like that's what I've learned, how I've learned to play it. But that you need to find head-to-heads, which really only happen in the Derby. They don't happen in the other 2 races because horses start dropping out, and you get to the final race, and it's like there's 8 or 9 horses. They just don't do head-to-heads anymore.
And our producer, Brian, is going out with him and his family are going out to Churchill Downs. Going to be at the Derby next Saturday. How exciting is that?
I want to see his outfit. I got to see the outfit.
He's got to have a beautiful suit on.
Everyone says it's a great time, but to me, like sweating in a suit, like sitting or standing for multiple hours is not my jam.
I agree with you. I agree, but there's nothing like the Derby. Now, the mint julep's disgusting. It's a terrible drink. It really is. And they serve them all over the place. The mint julep's disgusting. But aside from that, the Derby's great.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's awful. Your favorite play tomorrow, Geoff, is what? The Celtics laying 6.5?
Yes. And I will also take the Reds team total over in Colorado. The Rockies give up so many runs. I do it every single day of the season so far. Rockies are 4 and like 28 already. Who knows? They give up so many runs. So the Reds team total over will be taken tomorrow.
Colorado leading Dallas 2-0. They're going into the second period. They were a heavy favorite coming into it, heavy favorite right now. And Golden State has taken the lead on the Houston Rockets, 87-84, under 5 minutes to go in regulation. Golden State is now minus 194 to win the game, and they are the favorite. Geoff, this has been a blast, man. Appreciate it.
Ton of fun. Yep. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy the games tomorrow, and Monday and Tuesday, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for Geoff Schwartz, I'm Marc Malusis. Thanks to Brian, our producer. Thanks for you guys for listening for the last 4 hours. This has been Live Bet Saturday, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Be well.